All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much love to you brothers out there preaching the truth and sincerity. It's the brother Azariah here with the Pittsburgh GMS camp. Came across this video. It's the same old propaganda. Well, he looks like an Edomite. Is speaking out against the same old propaganda that the news reporters are pushing forth about Jake after a natural disaster happens. You know, when the white people go searching for food, they're finding food, they're surviving. When the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans go looking for food, you're looting and you're criminals and you're thugs and you're gangsters. So let's just let this play a little bit.
The Carolinas, and the current death toll sits at 17 in North Carolina and 6 in South Carolina. And while low-income areas are experiencing the worst impact, this one brave local news reporter put on her fancy rain boots and went down to harass the victims.
You can see here people coming out with items left and right, looting the Family Dollar here.
See, they're looting, huh?
On Greenfields.
They're trying to survive. They're white people that did the same thing. So-called white people, you Edomites. You do this stuff. You do the same thing when there's a natural disaster.
Great.
What is this wine mom doing? Let him survive, lady.
Now noticing that we're here running away from the camera, you can see people inside here, people with t-shirts over their heads.
Of course they're running away from the camera because you're trying to get them caught up.
Imagine going to an affected area and watching people trying to find food supplies, since who knows how long it'll take for basic services to be restored, and thinking, gotcha, you criminals, how dare you try to survive?
They don't do that to Edomites.
And then this video got 15 million views and 228,000 shares since Saturday because it plays into that same old
See, black people loot food, white people find food.
narrative that black people loot versus white people find or survive.
Hey guys.
Right, and that's the narrative that Edomites push towards you, you know. And let me get Proverbs 11:1, you know, because that's not a just balance. That's not equal. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. And you Edomites don't have a false balance, because when you do it, when you loot or when you find food after a natural disaster, it's, oh, look at these families surviving. Oh, look at the tenacity of the human race, you know. But since you consider us 3/5 of a person, a human being, oh, look at these niggers looting. You know, look at these niggers taking food. You know, that's a false balance. And honestly, you know, call all you have about you have shot that I wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, but the anger that this type of oppression brings, it's like, I'm surprised didn't nobody knock her block off, honestly.
You know you're looting, right? You know you're stealing.
Dude should have stolen.
You know that you're looting.
You know, she should have got punched in the grill for messing with people. Come on now, man. I'm not trying to promote violence, but the anger that, man, this is some BS, man. Lily white chick, she should have got her block knocked off out here messing with these people, man. They done lost everything trying to get some food. And you know that you're looting, right? You know that's illegal.
And that's illegal?
I can't think of anything that says I don't regard you as a human being more than snitching on hurricane victims who have no idea.
I don't regard you as a human being, and that is exactly the sentiment of Esau, the so-called white man.
When services in the area will be restored, who most likely don't have enough money to stock up on basic necessities like food, water, and toilet paper. How do you have a barbecue Becky moment in a friggin' hurricane?
Looks like the police are here now. People wearing Halloween masks, looting the
Look, she's standing right across the way pointing.
Family Dollar.
White people are so concerned with black people surviving that they'll call the cops on them during recovery efforts. And of course, the brave boys in blue responded swiftly to deliver justice, even though the owners of the Family Dollar asked them not to intervene, which...
See, the owners of the Family Dollar asked them not to intervene. So what did they have to say? We are aware of the looting occurring at the Family Dollar store at 13th and Greensfield STS. Unfortunately, management has asked not to intervene at this time. Unfortunately? So it's unfortunate that you don't get to beat niggas across the head for trying to survive. Oh, okay.
The Wilmington Police Department was noticeably upset about, like they literally tweeted out, unfortunately. Unfortunately what? And then they still decided to arrest some of the looters and charge them to the
We will charge them to the fullest extent of the law.
fullest extent of the law.
Even though the person who got stole from said, "Don't worry about it."
Despite the owner telling them over and over again not to. Thank God for cops. How else would we survive a storm without them? But I
Right.
just can't get over this lady trying to pull off a citizen's arrest just bursting at the seams.
I can't get over it either. She should have got. Somebody should have beat her up.
Which received a record amount of rainfall where highways were blocked off, leaving the city isolated from recovery efforts. And I get it. Like, the media loves a good storm, okay?
Onslaught of rain.
Onslaught of waves ripping apart the coastline.
Compared to a war zone.
War zone.
Looks like a war zone.
But while some beef up the danger element of storms for ratings, Fox News and local
Did you see the damn Edomite back there? Look, he's waving back and rocking back and forth like he's about to fall over. These guys, back here just strolling.
War zone.
Looks like a war zone.
Edomites are full of crap. Oh, there's winds up to 50 miles an hour. Karen, I'm trying to hear you here. I'm trying to stand up. Damn.
Storms for ratings. Fox News and local news affiliates like this one take advantage of the devastation to peddle routine racial agitation.
Mass devastation in Houston has brought with it a breakdown in law and order.
This natural disaster has wreaked havoc in the region. But you know what's even more dangerous than exploding transformers? Black people trying to stay alive.
Fears now of looting. Many people say they're carrying guns.
And they're now afraid of looters.
During a hurricane, your main concern should be protecting yourself from the hurricane and its after effects. But this kind of damaging black people loot versus white people survive rhetoric leads to maniacs like this guy.
You come down the street looking for problems, you're gonna get shot.
Like, in this dude's mind, during a hurricane, people aren't out there trying to survive. They're like, this is my opportunity to do rapes and steal your neon Budweiser sign. Like, no one's coming into your ugly ass suburban house, Chad. Chill the heck out. My mind is absolutely blown at the apathy and hate that poor people receive. And nothing proves that point like a good old looting compilation. I'm Hassan Piker.
Yep, the apathy and hate that poor people receive. And let's look up that word apathy. Lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. And that's exactly what that's the sentiment of the Edomites. Exactly. And the Edomites are known as the wicked according to the Bible. So let's just see some of these things. Let's see what Psalms 50 has to say about the wicked. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant into thy mouth? Seeing that thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. Because if you truly upheld the words of the Most High, you would be looking out for the poor. You would be looking upon them with some type of understanding, you know. When thou sawest the thief, then thou consented with him, Salakia, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. And that's what your tongue is framing, deceit, you know, because you're painting these people as some type of criminals out here when they're just trying to survive, you know. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's sons, because truth be told, the Edomites are the brother of the Jacobites, you know. They were paternal twins, you know. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest or lies against thine own mother's son. And that's what you do. Why is it talking about, you know, lying against your own mother's son here, you know, or concerning the wicked? It's talking about a specific people, you know. And that person is talking about is Esau, the so-called white man. He slanders Jacob. That's all he does is slander Jacob. Proverbs 29:7. Because like he said, the apathy and hate that the poor get, you know, this is what the wicked do. They don't care about the poor. Proverbs 29:7. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. You know, the wicked don't care what's going on with the poor, you know. Let's read. And now let's get this final scripture just to show you, because I did a video right before this talking about how this place is spiritual Sodom in Egypt, you know. So let's see what's some characteristics of Sodom. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom: pride, including gay pride, fullness of bread. You know, there's so much food in these different stores that go to waste. You know, I remember my grandfather used to do bread drives. He would get a truck and go to this place called Publix in Georgia, and he would end up getting a big old truck full of sweets, you know, cakes, pies, this, that, and the other. He would give them out, you know, and bread, and he would give it out to homeless people. You know, he would feed his family with it as well. You know, there's so much food that goes to waste that could be used to feed the poor here. You know, it's fullness of bread here. an abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. And this is a place you can do whatever you want. If you wanted to sit all day in front of your computer, you could here in America. You could sit all day and do something not productive and idle here in America. Same thing. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. And that's exactly what we're seeing in these news articles that call Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, so-called, that are going through these natural disasters, looters. That's exactly what we're seeing. They're not strengthening the hand of the poor and the needy. Here, the poor and the needy are further downtrodden. They're further pushed down the ladder, and they're stomped upon. You know? There are even some places I've heard where it's illegal to be homeless. This place does not strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy, you know? So I just wanted to go into that article here, just pull out a few scriptures. You know, hopefully this lesson has been edifying. You know, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and much love to you brothers out there preaching the truth in sincerity. With that, I'm going to say Shalom.